This year, Unity Reed High School has decided to recognize 21 athletes and coaches who have distinguished themselves above all others. Throughout our 50-year history, these men and women have led the way to create a culture of success and accomplishment. Tonight, we honor the inaugural class of the Stonewall Jackson Athletic Hall of Fame.
Greetings from Unity Reed High School, formerly known as Stonewall Jackson High School. I am Kevin Turner, the Director of Student Activities, and I'm here to honor the members of the inaugural class of the Stonewall Jackson Raiders Athletic Hall of Fame, a project that's been in the works for several years now. The purpose of the URSJ Athletics and Activities Hall of Fame is to recognize and honor those Stonewall Jackson High School student athletes, coaches, and/or contributors who excelled in their respective roles to bring honor, recognition, distinction, and excellence to Stonewall Jackson High School. There are a few people I would like to thank for their contribution toward this project. John Miller, first, a Stonewall graduate from the class of 2009, and is also a proud graduate from Virginia Tech. John is a valuable member to the Unity Reed staff as a social studies teacher and director of the Student Activities and Leadership Council. Almost every student project, from the Homecoming Rocks to the prom, is spearheaded by John's students. John is also our varsity baseball coach, a role in which his dedication and his countless hours to developing student athletes' skills and conditioning are wonderful in order to compete against some of the best teams in the state. John produced this video for us, and so a huge thanks to John Miller Jr. Jen Earhart. Jen is the secretary to the activities office and takes on daily tasks as well as long-term projects with extreme zeal. Her passion for student athletes' success is only surpassed by her work ethic in seeing every project through to its completion. Jen is webmaster for the athletics website. She helped develop the online nomination link, which will be open for new nominations to the Hall of Fame from January through March. The selection committee, made up of Bob Denick, Jeff Mullinex, David Speaks, Wayne Robinson, and members of the Unity Reed High School admin team. I would also like to thank all of the nominators for their efforts toward this project and helping us to get this off the ground. I would like to encourage all alumni who are interested in nominating an athlete, coach, or special contributor to visit our athletics website. It is urlionsathletics.com. Online nominations will be accepted from January 1st through March 31st. As a former teacher, coach, and administrator in the Stonewall community for the past 26 years, I have worked with some incredible students, teachers, parents, and administrators. I'm extremely proud to be a part of this project for the Hall of Fame class of 2020, and hopefully for years to come. And now for the athletes. First up, we have Courtney Burrs, class of 2004, All-State softball. She was on the 2004 state championship team. Next is Coach Bill Cameron, wrestling. Bill coached for 14 years and had multiple state titles. Bill is still coaching today every time he walks into a high school wrestling room. Natalie Critchley, class of 1978, basketball, softball, all county, all district. Next, Chris Garrett, class of 2005, football, all state running back. Next is Raymond G, 1997, class of 97, football, track and field, all district, all region, all Met. Next we have Coach Anna Glaze. She held 3 state titles for cheerleading, and she coached from 1989 to 2004. Next we have Kim Graham, class of 1989, track and field, multiple state titles, and All-American. Kim Graham also became an Olympian. Next we have Monte Hicks, 1995, football, all-time leading rusher. Next we have Jim Kidd, 1968, track and field, state champion half mile. Next we have Coach Jason Koch for softball. Jason was the coach for the 2004 state championship team. He made the state finals with his teams 3 times, and he coached from 2002 through 2006. Next we have Ron Lane, class of 1982, men's soccer, all region, all Met, and all state. Next we have Christina Moore, class of 1998, softball and basketball. In softball, she was all Met, in addition to all region. Chip Reckless, 1972, basketball, 2-time player of the year. Next we have Michelle Rittenhour, class of 1983, state champion gymnast. Next we have Wayne Robinson, 1975, football, basketball, all state in both. Next we have Andre Sutherland, 1985, football, all state and player of the year. Next we have Jeremy Rankin, class of 1999, wrestling and soccer. He was a 2-time state wrestling champion. Next we have Ryan Williams, class of 2008, football, high school All-American. Next we have Tommy Worstell, class of 1984, boys basketball, football, and lacrosse is what he actually excelled in. He was an elite multi-sport standout athlete. William Veers, 1971, cross country, track and field, he was a state champion. James Vogt, 1972, cross country, was a 2-time state champion in the mile run. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, congratulations to our class of 2020 Athletic Hall of Fame for Stonewall Jackson Raiders. We were able to obtain a few of the induction speeches and their acceptance. So please watch these videos and enjoy, and understand that in the future, we hope to have an induction ceremony in person for all of our Hall of Famers, and we will honor our Hall of Famers here in the school building with a plaque that will go up on the trophy wall. Thank you very much.
Our first inductee of the night is also our first state champion. From the 2004 state championship softball team, Courtney Burrs.
Hey everyone, first I want to start off by saying how honored I am to be inducted in the Hall of Fame class of 2020. This is really exciting for me, just because I recognize most all of the names of the other inductees, either from the trophy cases or the records wall in the gym, and I spent 4 years idolizing those names and wanting to be up there with them and now being included on the same list is really exciting for me. Here's what I loved about my experience as a Raider. Winning a state championship, of course, but also, we lost it twice before we won it. 2 years in a row, we made it to the championship game and lost it all. And nobody ever talks about that. Of course they wouldn't, but for me, that experience was just as meaningful as when we won it all. Just because the things you have to go through, the time you have to sacrifice, the hard work you have to put in just to get there, just to be in that position, it's incredible. And to do all of that and then not achieve the thing you set out to do is heartbreaking. Anybody knows that. But then to get back up and do it again, come back the next year with the same mentality, to put yourself in that situation again, it's that kind of resiliency, I think, really shapes you. And so much to the point that when we did finally win it, for me, it felt like it wasn't just the girls at the field that day that won. It was also the girls in the previous years, the ones who had come before us, who had done such a good job of setting the tone for the program and shaping the culture of the team, to the point where it just felt natural that we should win it my last year. And that kind of experience, I think, is really rare, and I'm very grateful for it. And one thing in particular that's really special about this honor is that I'm being inducted in the same class as my coach and mentor, Jason Koch. He coached me all 4 years, and he had a really profound impact on me as a player, as a person, and also now as a coach myself. A lot of the things that he taught us, those are things that I try to instill in my players still to this day. And being able to share this experience with him is pretty special for me. And I also want to make sure I thank Kevin Turner and everybody else who is involved in putting this together. This is really cool, being part of the inaugural class. I'm very humbled to be included, and very grateful, very thankful to the entire Raider family. So thank you, guys.
A two-sport athlete in basketball and softball from the class of 1978, Natalie Critchley.
Hello, my name is Natalie Critchley. I played 4 years of varsity basketball and softball before graduating in 1978. Back in the day, we played basketball in the fall, not like the traditional winter where girls play today. We did not have a three-point line, which I would have loved. And we played with the big ball, not the smaller ball. That would be so much easier to dribble. And we only played 14 games. That was it. I loved everything about being a Raider. The pep rallies, the school spirit, my coaches, and my teammates, especially my good friend Kim Waugh, who was a great teammate by my side in both sports, through thick and thin, the bumps, the bruises, and the wins and losses. I have to thank my coaches, the late Karen Poindexter, Meps Johnson, and Yvonne Hosglaw, who continually pushed me every day to reach my full potential so that I would eventually earn a college basketball scholarship. I can't say enough about the lessons I learned as a teenager on the court and the field that have guided my personal and professional life. Through the years, my relationships with those teammates, high school friends who to this day are so supportive, it's just priceless. Getting that call that I would be inducted into the inaugural Hall of Fame class was such a pleasant surprise. I couldn't stop smiling all day. I called my family and they were thrilled with the news. They were so supportive, and they were behind the scenes, driving me to camps, tournaments, practices, games, you name it. I just cannot thank them enough for their support over those years. After the Hall of Fame was announced on Facebook, I was so humbled by the number of congratulatory messages that I received from friends and coaches and family members. It was terrific. And all of those people in such a big way were a part of my success on the basketball court and softball field. And I'm just honored and grateful to be included with this special group of coaches and athletes. Thanks again for this amazing and very special honor, which I will always cherish.
An all-state running back from the class of 2005, Chris Garrett.
Hi, this is Chris Garrett, inductee of the 2020 Hall of Fame class. The things I loved the most about my athletic experience as a Raider was playing multiple sports, being coached by multiple great coaches, and also making friendships with teammates, managers, people that, I've built a lifelong friendship with. And also being a part of the culture that helped turn around the football program into winners. It's funny because to this day, I have people walking up to me and saying things that I did in high school, which is pretty cool and it's funny, but, it just brings me back to memories that, that was a fun time for me as a teenager, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. And I'm proud that I went to Stonewall Jackson, and the things that I've done on the football field, on track, basketball, even in lacrosse, I know that I left it all on the field, and I just take great pride in what I did and what I represented, and that was Stonewall, and that was my last name. And my thoughts on being a part of the first Hall of Fame class, I can't even put it into words. It's one of those things where I feel like it hasn't hit me fully yet. I'm super happy, but I know like down the road, I'll be able to, tell my kids about things that I've done. And I can always say that, hey, I'm a Hall of Famer. So, as far as trying to put it into, certain words or a word, I can't, because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where I never dreamed about being in the Hall of Fame. I just always wanted to work hard, and I wanted people to judge me on what I did, on the field and off the field. But this is something that I'll always cherish and I'll never ever forget. And I'm just so happy, to be chosen.
A two-sport athlete in football and track and field from the class of 1997, Raymond G.
How you doing? This is Raymond G from the class of 1997, accepted my Hall of Fame award for track and football. First, I would like to thank those who helped me build the fundamentals of football. My dad, the late Ray Minor, Rodney Jackson, and Joe Walker. Thank you for installing the love of the appreciation of the game for me right from the beginning. When I was a kid, my daddy and I used to go to the barbershop with a guy named Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson and my dad used to always talk about a guy that played football for Stonewall Jackson High School that was a running back named Andre Sutherland. Andre Sutherland had the Prince William County and the Stonewall Jackson High School rushing record, 1,987 yards. Those numbers I remembered like they were my birth year. At that point, I decided I wanted to become a Raider so that one day I could challenge that record and become one of the running backs and talked about just like him. When I went into Stonewall, there was already a great number of running backs that was already there that had 1,000 yards or a history of 1,000 yards. The three that was in front of me was Monte Hicks, Jamie Sisk, and Ronald Osbury. After sitting behind them my 9th and 10th grade year, my 11th grade year, I ran into a little trouble and couldn't play football my 11th grade year. At that time, one of the coaches for the linemen, Coach Tim O'Reilly, had encouraged me to run track. Coach O'Reilly, who now become a great friend of mine, told me to run track, and it helped me with my speed and to hit the hole faster to become a better running back. At that point, I took his advice, and I went into track not knowing what to expect and ended up being state qualified and qualified for nationals and competing in the national track meet. Going into my senior year, I had more motivation to do well for running back. And that time I wanted to become one of the history of 1,000-yard runners on a list of numerous guys that has made that list. After my fourth game, I had already surpassed the 1,000-yard mark, so I had decided, okay, now it's time to go for Andre and be like him. So it was 24 years ago, the last game of the season, the last regular season game, and I see a guy in a black trench coat, leather jacket, and he greeted me and told me good luck. It was Andre Sutherland. First time I had ever met him through all the years that my dad, Mr. Wilson, or anybody ever talked about him. He showed the respect for the record in the county and the school as I went out there. And then I decided that I wanted to do that and show the same respect for anyone who challenged the record for me. After 22 years, a guy from Freedom High School then decided that he was able to surpass my mark. I went on the field at Freedom High School and I then greeted him as he passed my record. And then if anyone at Unity Reed decides that they can surpass my record, I'll do the same for them. I would like to thank the Hall of Fame board, Mr. Turner, Mr. Nichols, and my linemen and my fullback for the great support that they have given me through my football years and the support that the Hall of Fame have given in selecting me as a nomination. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the first Hall of Fame class. Thank you.
From the inaugural class of 1968, a state champion in the half mile, Jim Kidd.
Hello, Raider Nation. My name is Jim Kidd. I was a student at Stonewall from 1965 to 1968. Recently, I was contacted by Bob Denning, a member of the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, and he informed me that I had been selected to the inaugural class of the Stonewall Jackson Athletic Hall of Fame in recognition of my state championship in the half mile. This is especially gratifying, being one of the 21 Stonewall athletes chosen over these last 52 years. Let me tell you a little bit about how my running career started. In the 10th grade, in the fall, the physical education curriculum required that each student run a 660-yard race, and then you'd repeat it again in the spring. Well, I ran the race and was pleased to learn that I had finished first with the best time of anyone in the 10th grade. The following morning, I was called out of homeroom to speak with the cross-country coach, and he invited me out for cross-country, saying that the physical education teachers had informed him that I had broken a school record in a 660-yard run. I said, Coach, I'd like to, but let me talk with my parents tonight and I'll get back to you. So that evening at family dinner, I broached the subject of joining the cross-country team, and my mother sarcastically said, cross-country? What is that? You run from here to California? Well, I stated my case. My father said, tell you what, play basketball, keep your grades up, and you can run track in the spring. I did play basketball and track, lettered in both, and then moved on to my junior year where I ran cross country, played basketball, and ran outdoor track, did well in all three, and then I had a great and exciting senior year. It was particularly a special year because I was student body president, ran cross country, ran indoor track, played basketball, and ran outdoor track. One of the things that really stood out was one Friday evening in mid-February in basketball season. We were a new school. We were only 3 years old at the time, and we had never beaten our cross-town rivals, Osborne High School. And in 2.5 years, we lost to them 5 straight times. And this particular evening, the score is tied. There's 2 seconds left on the clock, and I'm shooting 2 free throws. Made them both, and we won the game. Very exciting. The next morning, I got up and traveled with the indoor track team to the state championships in indoor track at VMI, where I won a state championship in the half mile. And my running career, particularly in the spring season, was very successful, and it led to me getting a scholarship to run track at East Carolina University. As an all success, I had great encouragement and support from teachers and coaches. A huge thank you to all the teachers and coaches at Stonewall. I had a great time, and they were definitely instrumental in my success. And again, thanks to Bob Denning, and also a special thanks to Kevin Turner, the Director of Student Affairs at Stonewall, and to the selection committee for all the long, hard work required to make this inaugural class happen. Your work and due diligence is very appreciated and will be for years to come. Well done. Thank you.
Our first induction speech from a coach representing the 2004 state championship softball team, Coach Jason Koch.
Hello, I'm Jason Koch, and I was the Raider softball coach back in the early 2000s. First off, I'd like to say thank you to the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for including me in this talented first inaugural class. Great athletes, wonderful coaches, and just fantastic contributors. My time as the Raider softball coach was just extremely enjoyable. It was, a real treat to work with the players and the coaches and the families. The student athletes were just super talented, committed, dedicated, passionate about the game of softball, as well as my staff, and the families were just so supportive. The administration made it easy for me to where I could just focus on making the opportunities fun, the challenges fun for the girls. So thank you to everybody that made, life back then just wonderful around the softball program. My goal was always to have the girls compete hard and to compete with class. I really wanted each and every girl to go through the softball program enjoying their opportunity that they received. And my hope is that they can look back and have fond memories like I do when I look at the players and the families. I really think the game of softball brought all of us together, and we just really supported each other. To this day, I know the girls are still friends, and it's just wonderful to see that they're successful in life and they're great people. And that's really what I wanted. And so I want to thank everybody that made that opportunity possible for me. So lastly, thank you. I'm humbled. I'm excited to be a part of the Athletic Hall of Fame. And thank you to everybody that made that possible. The players, I would not be in this position if it wasn't for the players, the coaches, and the families. You were truly special in my life, and I definitely will remember everything that we went through back then. And so thanks again. Appreciate the memories. I'll always be a Raider.
Our lone inductee from the soccer team, representing the class of 1982, Ron Lane.
Hi, I'm Ron Lane, class of 1983 Stonewall Jackson Raider. I played 4 years of soccer there, and I was honored when I was notified that I was selected for the Hall of Fame, because you think about it, all the athletes that went through there, and to be selected is a great honor. I have a lot of people to thank, and in particular my coach, Coach Schwab, who challenged me not only in academics but on the field. Also, I'd have to acknowledge all my teammates, all 4 years of who I played, because they made me the player I was. My teammates challenged me at practice and then made me look good in the game, so I have to thank them. As far as being a Raider, man, it went too fast. 4 years went by too fast, but it was fun. Loved the classmates, team spirit. Faculty was actually interested in your accomplishments. It was a great time. So I'm honored and thankful and grateful that I was been selected. Hopefully one day we can come back and meet the other inductees and all my friends. It's unfortunate that we're not able to be there in person, but thank you very much for this honor. Go Raiders.
A two-sport athlete in softball and basketball from the class of 1989, Christina Moore.
Hi, my name is Christina Moore, class of 1989. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for this amazing honor. To be among so many talented athletes is truly humbling. When I got the phone call that I was being inducted, I cried like a big baby. But it was validation for all of my hard work, my tears, my injuries, Saturday and Sunday workouts. It was all worth it. So thank you. When I was at Stonewall, I played volleyball, basketball, and softball. But I excelled at basketball and softball. And I think that was due to having two extremely tough coaches, Coach Baggett and Coach Cameron. Congrats, Coach Cameron, on your induction as well. When I showed up at Stonewall, I had a huge chip on my shoulder. See, being a redhead back then was not cool. And so I had an attitude problem. And instead of giving up on me, they saw something in me and they pulled it out. And they taught me how to have a strong work ethic, a dedication to myself and my team, and how to be a leader, how to lead by example. They taught me all of that, and I am forever grateful for them because that gave me the confidence in life to become a United States Marine, and I appreciate that. So thank you. Some other coaches that were always there to help me if I ever asked was Coach Beatty, Coach Sheffield, and Coach DeGrew. So thank you to them. I played alongside some amazing young ladies. Kim Graham. Congrats, Kim, on your induction as well. Jamie Sortsey, Aaron Bigley, Brooke Fornes, Teresa Edwards, LaShawn Berger, Stacy Hutchinson. That's just to name a few. Amazing female athletes. And I learned something from all of them. So thank you. The only regret I have is I wish my father was here to witness this, but I know he's proud. And thanks to my mom. She tried to make every game, and it was always nice to be able to look up in the stand and see someone in the stands and see someone there. Thanks to my daughters, Ashley, Vanessa, and Deanna, for always supporting me. I still continue to play softball. I will probably continue to play until I can't walk anymore. So thank you to all my family and friends, and thank you to all my fond memories at Stonewall. Go Raiders.
A two-time state champion in wrestling from the class of 1999, Jeremy Rankin.
What did I love about my athletic experience as a Raider? Well, I'll have to say that I love that my achievements allow me to experience just how sweet life could be. You know, I actually in life always wanted something special, something almost intangible that I had that no one could really take away from me or debate. Something that was truly mine. And for me, that was really becoming a state champion for the first time. Life's been pretty sweet ever since. So I have to say, despite the blood, sweat, and tears and the workouts before, during, and after school, running hundreds of miles and doing thousands of repetitions, it was all worth it. So what do I think about being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
It's a great honor for me, especially to be part of the inaugural class. I am deeply appreciative, and I just want all those who've supported me to continue to be proud of me. I'll never forget this, and I just want to say, 2-time state champ.
Representing the class of 1972, from the basketball team, Chip Reckless.
My name is Chip Reckless. I graduated from Stonewall Jackson in 1972, quite a long time ago. I'd like to thank Kevin Turner and the selection committee for nominating me for this honor. It is very special. There are several things that stand out about my athletic experience. One was I was able to play multiple sports. So basketball was my passion, was my primary sport. I also played some football, I played baseball, and I ran cross country. Another thing was the community involvement. So there was a lot of excitement within the community, the school community, and then the surrounding community as well with our teams, with the sports. The camaraderie of the players was really very special as well. So not only on the basketball team, but the other teams that we played on, cross teams supported each other, football team supported basketball team, and those things. So that was very special. Stonewall is located, or was located, in the community. A lot of the folks walked to school, and one of the neat things was on game nights, being able to walk to school, walk through the community, and people would wave, people would yell, encouragement and things like that. Also had a very healthy rivalry with Osborne High School. A lot of those guys that I played against were friends of mine. We did things in the summer, went swimming and different things like that. The students and teachers were very supportive. Before games, after games, always offering encouragement, and obviously they attended the games too. One of the best things that came out of this experience was a 50-plus year friendship that I developed and continue to develop with my basketball coach, Coach Gene Sloan.
Our lone inductee from the gymnastics team, a state champion in 1983, Michelle Rittenhour.
Hello everyone, I am Michelle Rittenhour, and I am a proud member of the Stonewall Jackson class of 1983. First, I would like to sincerely thank the committee and everybody involved in the creation of the Stonewall Jackson Hall of Fame, as I know there were many volunteer hours spent making this come to fruition. There have been many great athletes to walk the halls of Stonewall, and I am truly humbled and honored to be included in this group of outstanding individuals. It is one of the most meaningful and personal honors that I have ever received. I want to also congratulate my fellow inductees of the inaugural class of 2020. I look forward to meeting each one of you and learning more about your remarkable accomplishments. When I decided to try out for the Stonewall gymnastics team, many people expressed that I would have a dissatisfying experience coming from the elite level training and competition that I was previously used to, but they couldn't have been more wrong. I can honestly say that some of the most enjoyable and rewarding years of my gymnastics career were spent competing for Stonewall. Gymnastics has taught me many life lessons. You must set goals, work hard, and stay focused to succeed. These life lessons are some that I use as a teacher, co-worker, friend, and as a mom to my 3 amazing boys, Garrett, Nathan, and Logan. I hope that I have instilled these same goals and work ethics in them as they pursue their sports endeavors. Without a foundational support system, reaching your athletic pinnacle is almost an impossible task, and I am no different. First, I would like to thank my family who never missed a meet, no matter the distance, to my dad, Alan, to my brother, Scott, and to my sister, Tina, for all the sacrifices they made for my career, and especially to my mom, BJ, whom I owe the greatest debt. Just as my career began, my mom sacrificed her own to drive me to Rockville, Maryland 6 days a week to train with some of the best coaches on the East Coast. My mom then took a job at the gym to offset the cost of training, and in turn gave up time with my siblings, all so that I could succeed. The support, the wisdom, the words of encouragement that I received from my mom helped me become the gymnast that I was and the person that I am today. To Karen Taylor, thank you for not only being a coach, but for being a mentor. You are always so patient and kind. You always had such a positive outlook. You had encouraging words. You were actually the perfect coach for me to settle my nerves before a meet. To Karen Lutman, thank you. You took a group of girls of varying abilities and you molded us into a championship team. I am grateful for all the hours you spent choreographing and critiquing my routines with me, your passion for the sport of gymnastics, your commitment to our team, and the relationship that we developed. Although each one of my coaches had their own unique coaching style, they all played an integral part in my success as a gymnast. Thank you to my teammates for the camaraderie, the bus rides full of laughter, the great memories that we shared, and the lifelong friendships that we developed. Thank you to my classmates for coming out and supporting me and the other members of the gymnastics team, and to God, who gave me this incredible gift and the ability to develop it. Your support provided me the opportunity, the foundation, and the encouragement to become the best gymnast that I could be. And for that, I thank you. I cannot wait to meet my fellow classmates of 2020 and someday together welcoming the next generations of Stonewall Hall of Famers. In the words of Lou Holtz, famous Notre Dame football coach, ability is what you're capable of doing, motivation determines what you do, and attitude determines how well you do it. Thank you again for this incredible honor. Take care.
A two-sport athlete in football and basketball from the class of 1975, Wayne Robinson.
Good evening. My name is Wayne Robinson from Stonewall Jackson High School, class of 1975. First off, I'd like to thank Kevin Turner and his staff for all the hard work and dedication that you've put in to make this first Stonewall Jackson Hall of Fame alumni a reality. It's been a long time coming, but it is here and we are very thankful. Secondly, I couldn't be more proud to be a member of the Stonewall Jackson Hall of Fame. It's a great honor among some of the top athletes that ever come out of Prince William County. It's an honor to be in such a class of people. As I think about some of the games and some of the times that we had playing at Stonewall Jackson, it was just an honor, just an honor. So one game in particular that I can recall is the James Wood game, where it was probably 10 degrees and we hit a barrel on the sideline with just fire burning, and it was just burning. People were cold and you had to go there to warm up because it was really cold at night. But the crowd itself, standing room only, as usual, standing room only. One of the great moments of playing football at Stonewall Jackson. Basketball was the same way. You had to get there early to get a seat. It was really, really a great time playing basketball and football at Stonewall Jackson. I enjoyed my time there. And last, I'd like to say congratulations to all the people that got inducted into the Stonewall Jackson Hall of Fame. It's a great honor. I look forward to meeting you in the days to come. Take care. Enjoy your evening.
A three-sport athlete in basketball, football, and lacrosse, representing the class of 1984, Tommy Worstell.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tom Worstell. I'm a proud member of the Stonewall Jackson High School graduating class of 1984. To start, as all of us know, Stonewall Jackson High School has recently changed its name to Unity Reed High School, the home of the Lions. Let's stand behind the change, embrace it together, and win more titles and championships together, just like we as proud alums would expect any student athlete to do going forward. With that said, I'm extremely honored, humbled, and so very fortunate to be part of this inaugural Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2020. I'd like to congratulate all the other inductees as well, and I look forward to getting together with each one of them just so we can hear and share some great old school stories from back in our day. To start off, I'd like to thank a few individuals in particular that must have spent many hours, days, and many months on this Hall of Fame project. And the first one that deserves a huge amount of recognition is Mr. Kevin Turner, his staff, and all the other volunteers that donated their time as well. We are all truly very grateful for your hard work in making this happen for each one of us and our future inductees as well. For me personally, I want to thank my awesome parents, Gail and Peggy Worstell, for making it to every single game of mine, both home and many miles away. The support from both of them was absolutely relentless, and I appreciate it so much. The same can be said for the support that I received from my three older brothers as well, Paul, Pete, and Tim, especially during the great times while I attended Stonewall in the early 80s. Without their total and complete support, this would not have happened, so thank you all so very, very much. Luckily, back in 1978, my parents decided to move our family to Manassas, and as a result of that, I was able to meet some unreal high school friends, teammates, great coaches, and yes, last but not least, I met my wife Valerie of 31 years during those awesome high school days as well. Today, my wife and I are so lucky to be blessed with three wonderful daughters, Kayla, Brittany, and Erica, that we're extremely proud of. And I'm so happy and thankful to be able to share this honor with all of them. The great friendships that I was lucky enough to develop during my high school days are still thriving to this day. We all stay very well connected thanks to all the new social media options that are now available to us, and it's been so much fun for all of us to reconnect at the push of a button. Those bonds and lifelong friendships were all as a result of such an awesome experience during our high school days at Stonewall. And I appreciate every friend, teammate, unreal coach, and teacher for having a huge impact on my life forever. I want to mention a few of our legendary high school head coaches in particular that were instrumental in helping guide me and many others down the right path every single day. I want to give a special shout out to our head basketball coach, Pat Brizzi, for giving me the many extra hours of his personal time where he helped me on my game by running shooting workouts and many other drills that were conducted either early in the morning before school or even on weekends. Thanks again very much, Coach, for the complete commitment to my and our team's success. Coach Powell was also another key figure for me during high school as our head football coach. He taught me the extreme details of what next-level quarterbacks needed to understand, and the many hours of film study with him, plus the extra passing drill workouts, enabled me to experience some of the best wins of my life on the football field. Thank you so much again, Coach Powell. Additionally, there are a few other coaches that were on the basketball and football staff that I'd like to give another quick shout out to, and they are as follows. Coach Charlie, Coach Martin, Coach Hockman, Coach Serber, Coach Neville, Coach McCarter, Coach Hall, Coach Podlesny, Coach Weismiller, and the many others that I know unfortunately I'm forgetting, but you all know who you are, and I can't thank each one of you enough for all your guidance and clear support during those memorable high school years. For me, there was absolutely no better feeling than game day and putting on that Stonewall game jersey a few hours or so before game time. It meant so much to me to be able to do so, and I do cherish those game day memories so much even to this day, as I know our other inductees do as well. I'm so grateful for an absolutely unreal high school experience, and this Hall of Fame honor just caps it all off big time for me and my family. I'm so happy to be included on this awesome list of honorees, and I'd like to congratulate them again, plus all the future honorees that are coming our way each year going forward. Anyway, thanks so much again, everybody. Please stay healthy and take care of yourself and your families. Go Raiders, and now go Lions. Let's go win some more titles and championships. Take care, everybody.